So we are Schuylkill River Greenways. Our mission is to connect people to the Schuylkill River through means of the Schuylkill River Trail and other events and opportunities for people to engage with our local resource. It's super important because not only does it provide us recreational opportunities, as we all see now during COVID and how important that is for our mental health, but it is the main source of our drinking water here. It provides drinking water to almost 2 million people in the area. And of course, water is one of the main ingredients in beer. So I'm sure many of you know me now. My name is Sarah Crothers. I'm the Education Director. We have Mika Patterson with us from SRG. She's our Communications Director. She'll be monitoring all comments you might have on Facebook. Any questions you have, feel free to write those in. For our Zoom attendees, please write your questions in the chat. I'll be sure to ask our panelists here any questions you have. And with us today, I'm so thankful to have them here. I'm so happy to present them to you. We have Sarah Jagiela, the Events and Marketing Manager from Sly Fox, and we have Corey Reed, the Sales Manager from Sly Fox today. So Sarah has a nice PowerPoint for us today, and she's going to share her screen and show us some cool pictures, and they're going to talk to us about our partnership and SRTL, and we're just going to have a nice conversation for you all. So thanks.
Awesome. Get this shared then.
I just want to quickly say Peter Giannopoulos is tuning in, and he wants us to know that he just cracked an SRT. So I hope that all of you out there have a nice cold beer next to you. I don't, but I do have my water bottle with my nice Sly Fox sticker. So get your beers and let's all gather around.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us. This is super cool too. Like the relationship we've had with you guys over the years has just been so fun, and it's kind of cool. It made perfect sense for us to align ourselves with you because a lot of us at the brewery have been using this trail for years and years and years. So when we were looking for a way to attach ourselves to the community and doing it through beer, it just made perfect sense to partner with Schuylkill River Greenways because selfishly we get to enjoy the hell out of it, and it just makes a perfect sense, and it's our way to connect to the community. And what better way to do that than through beer? You know, beer is the perfect confluence to lots of fun. So that's how the SRT kind of came about, was we decided we wanted to make that specific beer for the trail user. And that it's very challenging to come up with a perfect beer for everybody. You know, it doesn't exist. But what we had in mind the whole time was a beer that was more of a refreshing, maybe recovery type of beer. So after you did a long run, a long paddle, hiking on the trail, we wanted to design something clean and crisp and very, very refreshing as a recovery beer, but also have a distinct craft quality to it. And that made SRT kind of what it is. It's a light-bodied, very easy to drink session beer, but with a pretty distinct hop character with the additional dry hopping we do to it. We kept it under 5% alcohol, so it's easy to enjoy a couple of them, and kind of pinpointed that as the type of beer that we thought would be the perfect recovery beer for after a good day out on the trail. But again, it's impossible to pick the perfect beer for everybody, but we think we got this one pretty darn close is what we were looking for. And the connection is we're able to donate money from the sales of this beer back to the trail, and that has been phenomenal over the years. Now we're in our 5th year, I believe, this beer, and I think we've probably gotten to close to $26,000 that we've raised through donating $1 per case, which is also the equivalent of $7 per keg to the trail. So it's worked out very, very well. It's become a fan favorite beer, and it's been such a good cause. So we've been able to do a lot. And specifically what happens with the money is we've been trying to use it. The Greenways has been using it to help us with safer road crossings. As you can see in that picture now, better signage, you know, whether it's on the street, whether it's signage on the trail, just to help protect riders and runners when they are crossing the street. And it's, yeah, it's been fantastic. So even though $26,000 is a drop in the bucket when it comes to the entire trail, we have been making a difference with it. And it's a pretty easy way to do it, you know, enjoy a nice cold, fresh beer and support the trail. So it's been a very rewarding partnership for us for sure. And yeah, if you take a look at the cans themselves, it's pretty cool. Across the top of the can there, it has all the mile markers of the trail itself, which is kind of neat because the SRT Spree was the way we launched the beer 5 years ago. Now every year we have an annual celebration, SRT celebration, and we always have it around Earth Day. Unfortunately, that wasn't able to happen this year, as we all know. But in the initial year in 2015, when we did it, we actually did do the entire trail. And each day, what we did was we'd start with a ride or a kayak trip to a destination that would have a park there. So wherever we would end that day, we would ask the community to come join us. We would have a trail cleanup, and then we would head to whatever was the closest local pub, put SRT on draft for the first time, and have a celebration there afterwards. So this went on for 5 days. It started on April 17th in Pottsville, and then each day we just chose different modes of transportation, whether it was riding our bikes, whether it was kayaking. We even had a section where we did horseback riding along the trail, but it was super fun. And the coolest part was all the interaction and how many other people were engaged in this. Like, there wasn't one section, if you're looking at the map that we have up here now, whether it was riding, kayaking, that somebody did not join along with my coworker and I. Every single time we had a riding partner, a kayak partner, sometimes up to 20 or 30 at a time. And every single one of them was so willing to get down and dirty when we got back to the trail and, you know, pull their sleeves up, start picking up garbage. And it was amazing how well received it was and how interested people were in our same mission, is just taking care of the trail.
Corey, I have a question from Facebook.
Sure.
Can people order SRTL right now to their home? Can they get on the website and?
Yeah, you can buy the beer. It's available year round. So we sell it at our pubs and in pretty much every local retailer that sells craft beer. It should be available. If somebody has a specific distributor they like to buy beer at and they don't have it, it's just a matter of asking them to get it in. So they can pretty much get it anywhere in Pennsylvania, including all of our 5 pub locations as well.
Okay, great. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm glad you did. But yeah, you'll see a couple more pictures along the trail of the spree. Like, that was one of the cleanup crews. I believe that was at the Union Trailhead. We met there at Fork and Ale House, did some trail cleanup, and then at that point we mounted on horses and rode our horses all the way back to the Sly Fox Brewery from there. And that was a cool event. It had a lot of people came out to check it out, to enjoy it with us. But I think a lot of them were also there to witness Todd and myself getting on a horse and see what happens with that, because that was pretty intriguing. Of the whole 100 and some odd miles that we did, we only did 10 of them on horseback. That was by far the hardest part for me. I mean, I ride a lot of bikes, I kayak a lot, I don't horseback that often. And I was ready to get off it at the end of that section, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But it was quite amusing.
I have another question. Someone asked how long is the trail? And so I just want to comment that we have about 75 miles completed so far. When it is fully completed, it will be 20 miles, and it will go all the way from Philadelphia to Schuylkill County, which it does already, but that's the full length of the trail, will be 120 miles when completely finished.
Yeah, that was kind of how we chose our modes of transportation with the initial spree as well. Like, we used the trail as often as we could, but there were a lot of unfinished sections, and that's where we chose to then hop in the river on our kayaks. And it was pretty cool. In the slide before this one, you'll notice a little SRTL flag that we had there on the back of the bicycles. That was kind of our Olympic torch that we carried that with us everywhere we went. I had a little mount put on the front of my kayak that it would stick in. It would ride on the back of our bicycles, even on the horseback. But yeah, that was kind of our Olympic torch that followed us the entire trail, Pottsville to Philadelphia. So it was quite the event. But funny story about the can, as I mentioned, the mile markers around it. There was a morning where we were getting up ready for the next leg, and I literally pulled the can out and looked at it and said, okay, Dietrich Park, Reading to, that's only 20 miles, no problem. I physically used it as a map. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Multi-use can. And it's super recyclable and environmental friendly.
Yes,
packaging.
that's something we've believed in for such a long time, is the aluminum can is such a superior vessel for beer. And now today, everybody, I think, recognizes that. It's common.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the early days when we first launched cans, people were calling us crazy. They're like, why are you putting craft beer in a can? But at the time, there was such a negative stigma to cans that people didn't realize the benefits of being impervious to UV. The liners in there, so flavors can't leach into the liquid, and the ultimate recyclability of it. So It was kind of cool that in the early days, especially as the sales guy out trying to sell this, people telling me we're crazy for putting craft beer in a can. Now today, you're crazy if you don't put craft beer in a can. So kind of neat that we were able to pioneer that. Now it is a very accepting package, and the stigma's pretty much gone away. So yeah, the Can Jam Music Festival. This is a really fun event for us because we partner with the Schuylkill River Greenways on this. They have their ride for the river on the same day, and I believe, and Sarah and Mika, you may know better than I, there's probably 200 plus riders, I believe, that ride in that event each year.
Oh yeah, I think we had over 350 riders last year.
Wow.
And we have over 70 volunteers helping us annually as well.
And
So
I
it's a
guess
huge event for us. And
there's two
I mean,
different length rides as well.
yeah, so there's usually a 16 mile and a 40 mile ride. So we start at Sly Fox, where Can Jam starts and happens. And we ride to either Union Township and turn around, which is about 8 miles out, or we go to Reading and turn back around and come back, which is about 20 miles one way. And then at the end, we get to come back and drink awesome Sly Fox beer and have some food and listen to great music. And we usually get there just in time to see who wins Can Jam too. So we're really thankful for our partnership in that event with you guys. It's really expanded our reach as well to, get other trail users out and about, and maybe people who might only know Sly Fox and know their beer learn about us as well through that. So we're thankful for our partnership.
Yeah, it's great. We find it mutually beneficial as well. Like that many riders there all end up back to the event afterwards. So it really benefits us as well. And it is cool. And as Sarah just mentioned, the winner wins their weight in beer. So that is quite the spectacle. You can see the photo that's up there now, them standing on the scale. And yet we literally stack cases of beer on that giant scale until we lift them off the ground. And that's how much they win. So very coveted prize that attracts a lot of people. Like we claim, and that is probably now the biggest Can Jam tournament in the world. And I think
Wow.
It's a bunch of beer. You could say you win $5,000. I don't know if that's as cool as winning your weight in beer. And that really does draw into competitors. So if I remember correctly, we had 160 teams, I believe, enter in it. And we have to stop it at that point. We really can't fit any more people, but I believe we could probably get more. But from what I understand, the World Championships are held in Buffalo. They get about 110, 120. So yeah, we claim this is the biggest one in the world, and nobody's argued it with us yet. So I believe it might be.
That's very cool. And yeah, all participants who participate in Ride for the River, your ticket comes with a beer and food voucher. So it does come a part of your ticket. And I really like the event because even if you're not a cyclist, if you don't want to ride, you can still go and enjoy and have fun with your friends. Last year my mom went there and she doesn't ride, but she was able to hang out with us when everybody got back from the ride at Can Jam. So it's really a fun, family-friendly event, able to just hang out in the beautiful grass field you have near the brewery and just take in the September air.
Yes, and again, everything is up in the air this year, but our intention is to hold the event again, but obviously we have to wait to see if that will be acceptable at that time of year. It is always last Saturday of September. So we have a little bit of time, and we really, really hope we can do this. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see and make sure whatever we do, we're making the right decision and a safe decision. So unfortunately, we can't confirm that it's happening just yet, but just keep your ear to the ground, check out our website, and as soon as we know that it is all clear, we're certainly going to have it. But it's such a great day after a long bike ride to come back, hang out, watch the competition. The music has been incredible. I mean, we really lifted the bar rather high when we booked Bob Marley's backup band, the Wailers, a couple of years ago, and that pretty much took it to another level. And what an amazing event it's become. But we always really try to focus on original music because it really ties itself to what we do at the brewery. We feel like we like to make authentic, original craft beers, and that's the type of music that we try to book as well. And we love having local bands, regional touring bands. So we blend in a little bit of everything, but the music's always fantastic and it's free. How free music festival you can't beat. They're hard to come across anymore. So we encourage everybody, whether you cycle or not, whether you play Can Jam or not, it's a really fun, free family event. So yeah, fingers crossed. We will see everybody there at the end of September. I believe you guys also do some cool raffles that day and raffle off some fun stuff. So it's also the day that we present the check each year to the Schuylkill River Greenway. So as you can see in that photo, that was, I believe that was just last year, actually. It looks like wearing last year's Can Jam t-shirt. So, yep, that's part of the event as well, is we get to give the check donation to these guys each year, and it's super cool. And yeah, and I think, like I said, it's just a mutually beneficial relationship we have with you guys, and it's so cool that we have something as great as what you guys are doing and what your mission is right there in our backyard in Pottstown. So, yeah, we're honored to be a part of it for sure.
Yeah, and that money really helps us have safer crossings on the trail. I'm sure many of our trail users have seen the new signs go up in the recent years, the nice highlighter yellow that alert motorists that cyclists are either crossing the road or are nearby. So just a few of them: Monocacy crossing on 724 in Union Township. There's an on-road crossing at 724 in Robeson Township, which is really important to have nice crossing and big signs because it's near 422. So there's a lot of action there. Schuylkill County, West Brunswick Township and Schuylkill County, and other areas in Angstadt near Reading. So your money has really helped us make the trail safer, not only in the Pottstown location near your brewery, but also on other places on the trail, even all the way up to Schuylkill County. So we're really, really thankful for that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've been fortunate. I've lived on the trail multiple times. I actually lived in Gibraltar for a short period of time, right on that section of the trail as they were laying the cinders down. This is probably 20 years ago. Also lived in Montclair right on the trail for quite a while. So I got to see the progress over the past 20 years to the trail. And it's absolutely incredible, the work that's been done and how much better it's become. And I can tell you what I've noticed as well is, even though the trail is being so heavily used now to what I've seen in years ago, there's very, very little litter. And that's something that I always, our partnership with you guys, we do a lot of trail cleanup. So we do stuff tied into our events. And each year I find it to be less and less. And I don't think the more traffic on it creates it. I think it creates more people that care about it. And there might be one person that litters, but there's 25 other people right behind him that's going to pick it up. And so it's kind of cool to see that all the additional use of the trail has actually been incredibly beneficial. And
that's awesome. You're right.
yeah, I went out to do some cleaning up of the trail. Actually, I was on my kayak and I was going to pick up trash out of the canal. And I went the entire length of the canal and found maybe 2 articles of garbage. And this was in late spring, where usually the water's not used that much. So you're going to find a lot of it at that time of year, plus with the heavy winds, but I really didn't. So I was impressed to see that, how heavily it's being used. It actually looks better and better each year.
I do agree with that. So for our usual SRT spree in April for Earth Day, when you do the 50K, we do the cleanups as well. And we've noticed over the past couple of years, we'll go out and kind of scout the park the day of or the day before. And we tend to be like, where's the trash? Like, we're going to have 30 people here tomorrow looking for trash, and there's almost not enough. So that's a really good problem to have. You are right that it's nice. We've kind of created this culture of really picking up your trash and making sure that, you're responsible when you're out there on the trail. And it is helpful when you do host trail cleanups and offer, a free beer if you come out and help.
That's a pretty good incentive. Well, yeah, and I don't think I mentioned that we do intend to do the spree again this year. And it always falls on the weekend closest to Earth Day. Obviously, we couldn't do that this year. So we did reschedule it for Halloween. And Halloween falls on Saturday this year. So Saturday, October 31st, we do intend to have the trail cleanup, the spree, the 50K run. We also do a large kayak trip that comes from Pottstown down to Lock 60, organized bike ride. So it's a super fun event. Again, ends with plenty of ice cold beer and music. So it's a really fun day. You don't need to participate in any of those activities. If you're just a fan of beer and music, please come on down. It's at St. Michael's Field every year. So yeah, this year we have the date scheduled for Saturday, October 31st, and could be a beautiful time of year. Sometimes down there on the canal in fall is stunning. So yep, hopefully we'll get to see everybody there.
Those are all the slides that I've got.
We got some comments about people being very happy that we're going to have the spree, I think.
Oh, good.
Hopefully having a can jam festival.
Hopefully. I do have a question. How did you come up with the 50K? Oh, Sarah, if you want to stop sharing your screen, you can. They can see our faces bigger. Because I just think that's outrageous.
Yeah, well, I know, Sarah, do you want to talk about our partnership with the brewery runs?
Sure. Yeah, my glass is currently from one of our foxtrots. They are Great American Brewery runs. They put on brewery runs of multiple sizes, like the Foxtrot's a 5K, but the Schuylkill River Relay is a 50K. They do them at breweries all over the East Coast, up and down from, I know they do one up at Alchemist, and then down in North Carolina, they've got a race. But yeah, we've been working with them for 5 or 6 years now, and they brought the 50K idea to us. It's a relay, but there are like about 100 people that do it solo. So they do the whole thing. It's about 30 some miles, I think just over 30 miles. And they even had one participant last year do it in, I believe his like firefighter gear, the whole thing, which is very impressive. But most of it is groups of 3 to 6 participants, and it's like 5-6 mile increments, and that's from St. Mike's Field in Montclair, Phoenixville, down to Conshohocken and back, right along the trail.
That's awesome.
So we actually have an SRG team who participated in last year's relay, and again, we have another team. Our executive director, Elaine Schaefer, is on the team. Our financial person, Michelle Thompson, is on the team, and I want to say Ken Lawrence, the Montgomery County Commissioner. I hope I'm not mistaking and saying that wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was also signed up to do the team. So they were prepared.
There's our team.
Yeah, they were preparing and getting ready for the original date. So I guess they had a little bit more time to train to Halloween, but we're excited for it. It's always a fun time. The music, of course, you know, there's bands playing and just seeing everybody run, and then at the end there's food, and so if you have time this Halloween, I'm sure we'll be wanting to get out and do some activities in person, so it'll be a great opportunity to go and spend some time with friends and family.
And you're right, Sarah, that is such a unique event. Like, I've never heard of a 50K relay either until these guys brought it to us, and it was such a cool idea. It really helps the draw. But what I love about it is every runner gets cheered on, whether you're winning, whether you're coming in dead last, every single one of them, they're cheering them on, because that's a heck of a feat. And fortunately, I have a built-in excuse of why I can't run it, because I'm too busy parking cars and running the event. So I get an out on it, but I'm very impressed with the people that do that. That's quite an achievement, but it is awesome to watch everybody getting cheered on as if they won the Boston Marathon. It's a cool event.
That is true. And so I heard talk about SRT kits.
It looks like Sarah might have one.
Do have one on hand. SRT bike jerseys.
I love that design. I love it.
Got the mile markers around the sleeves. It's got your logo. Nice on the sleeves as well. On the front side of the SRT can, and on the back it's got the cityscape, which is on the back of our SRT can. Yeah, it's a pretty nice piece.
Really lovely.
Mika, you had the link for those if anybody is interested.
So afterwards I'll email everybody who's registered. Sarah did share us the link to the manufacturer, so you can order those directly to your home. They come in, of course, women and men's sizes. So I'm excited to share that with everybody. We actually had a few people sport it at our 2019 Ride for the River. So they kind of got the first, the first pick of the cycling kits. So it was nice seeing a couple of them sported on the trail that year. So hopefully we can see some
picture.
Thanks, Sarah.
Pictures are fun.
So no, that was nice. She was my model for the day. But I'll make sure to share that link with everybody.
That's awesome.
A little off topic, but we have one of our trail supporters and ambassadors, Walt Hug, kind of just remind us that there's been some break-ins at trailheads. I'm not sure if they've been specifically at the Schuylkill River trailhead. I think he mentioned There was one at the Faneuil Boone Homestead in the Monocacy Hill Preserve. So he just wanted us to make sure to remind everybody to please not leave your valuables in the car when you're using the trail. Even locked cars are getting broken into. I have seen a couple of like smashing windows where people are actually like breaking into the car when it's locked. So that's something to definitely keep in mind when you're using the trail.
Thanks, Mika. How many beers do you guys usually have on tap or available for people to drink? And do you have seasonal beers? Because I know SRT used to be seasonal, but now it's year-round. So are all your beers year-round?
It's a split of both. You know, we have a lot of year-rounders. There's probably typically, if you come into one of our pubs, you're going to find anywhere from 15 to 20 different beers on draft at any given time. So not only will the year-round flagship beers always be on, there's always going to be a current seasonal, and then we love to throw in little one-off batches of limited ones. So we'll do a lot of small batches in our Phoenixville brewery of some really cool, unique beers that really don't get into the marketplace much. So it's almost like it's a good excuse to go to one of the pubs to see what you can find there that you might not find in the marketplace. But currently our seasonal beer now is Alex's Lemon Wheat. Really nice drinking wheat beer with lemon added to it. And we raise funds for Alex's Lemonade stand through the sales of this as well. So absolute awesome local foundation that raises money for pediatric cancer research. So that's been a great relationship as well. And again, all the money that from that beer does go to that cause, which is a great cause. So yeah, hopefully you get a chance to try that one. But we also will have an Oktoberfest, a Christmas ale, many seasons. There's always a new seasonal on the shelf. So yeah, give you a perfect reason to come out to our pubs and check it out.
Don't forget about some of our pub exclusives like our Maibach that we've got going on right now. We had our virtual goat races since our regular goat races had to be changed up due to everything going on. But we've got canned Maibach, and we also have a new hop project at our pubs right now, hop project number 14, which is a hazy IPA. It's tasting pretty great.
So can you go to any Sci-Fox location and get a growler filled, especially now? Is that a possibility? Is that able to be done?
Yeah, we are selling new Sci-Fox growlers, but if you bring a Sci-Fox growler in, we'll take $4 off of your tab. We're doing like a growler exchange program right now, so it's kind of like a deposit, if you will. But unfortunately, we can't accept non-Sci-Fox growlers, but we do have new growlers if you don't have one to bring in.
Thanks.
Someone on Facebook mentioned that the Christmas beer is the best. What is the Christmas beer?
It is. It's a nice beer. It's a red ale, but we add traditional mulling spices to it. There's cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and clove. And we use all fresh spices. So we'll actually make a whole pile of these spices, put them in giant tea bags, cheesecloths, and actually steep the beer, and we'll inject the tea, I guess we'll call it, into the beer during filtration. So it has this pleasant spice flavor without having residual spice flavor as well. Sometimes a spicy beer almost is like you licked a Yankee Candle. It could be way, way too much. So the method these guys have come up with at the brewery to dose the beer during filtration gives it that really pleasant spice aroma without having a residual spice flavor. So it is an awesome beer, not only for drinking, but for cooking too. That beer in a crock pot with a ham or making a glaze out of it is absolutely awesome too. So yeah, that multi-use beer for sure. Our slogan is, if this beer doesn't put you in the spirit, you truly are a Scrooge.
I'll make sure to try that. I've never had that.
Oh God, when they're doing the spices in the brewery that day, it smells so amazing. That's a great day to get to the brewery. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll have to try that. Does anybody else have any questions? Feel free to put them in the chat box if you have anything that you want to ask Corey or Sarah from Sci-Fox, or us. If you have any SRG questions, we're happy to answer.
So I was just going to say, I know that we hosted our Heritage and Hops event at Sci-Fox in Pottstown before, but we also hosted our Heritage and Hops event in 2020 in January at your new location at the Knitting Mills in Wyomissing. And that is just fantastic there. It's a beautiful location. I highly recommend you guys check it out when we're able to. But now I'm thinking I might go over there and get a growler filled because that's my local Sci-Fox up here in Reading. That's really cool.
not far from the trail either. So it's kind of convenient how all of our pubs ended up very, very close to the trail.
That's so funny.
Quite convenient.
Yeah, and I heard that they hosted a ride with Why I'm Missing from, I think, Sly Fox to Sly Fox on the trail, right?
Yeah, yeah. YO Ways, I believe, is a program they have up there. So we partnered with them also.
That's so cool. It's really nice to see that even if we're not involved, people are still using the trail and enjoying the beer.
Yeah, it's perfect. Take a nice ride right to your local brew pub and finish with a fresh cold beer. You can't beat it. So, yeah, and if I may, I would like to mention too, when the spree does happen, it happens at Lock 60. So the Schuylkill Canal Association, which is a nonprofit volunteer organization, gets very involved in helping with that, with parking and that. So this year in particular, we were unable to have Canal Day because of the current situation with the pandemics. But unfortunately, I'm part of the Grounds and Waterways group for Canal Association as well. So I wear that hat also. But we've completely lost every source of revenue we have because the revenue comes from events. And unfortunately, in this current status, there are no events to be had. So anything helps, if you could just check out the Schuylkill Canal Association's website and, help out volunteering, become a member. Every little bit counts. But yeah, this year in particular is going to be a struggle without being able to have any events. So hopefully once we get back on track and we have the spree, we can get back to normal. But currently, yeah, it's been kind of tough for the nonprofit to raise any funds without events. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind checking out Schuylkill Canal Association and see what kind of help you could offer, that would be fantastic.
So I'll include that website too when I send an email out to everybody. I just want to bring everybody's attention to the chat box. I'm going to send this out through an email as well. I just kind of have some website links like to the Sly Fox website and to the Schuylkill River Greenways website. Just to bring your attention to that. Feel free to visit that on your own time. We also have an SRTL page. They have an SRTL page on the Sly Fox website as well. And then we have pages about the programs that we talked about today, like the spree and the Ride for the River. So feel free to visit that and learn more about it. And we'll just keep you updated as much as we can about the status of those events. We're kind of in a little bit of a wait and see phase, and we're just trying to figure out kind of what's the best way to have those events and if we can have those events this year. Well, the spree is happening in October, but speaking specifically about Ride for the River. So we hope to have that event, but we'll just have to wait and see what's going on and what the guidelines and the phases look like at that time. Whose dog? All right, well, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. Sarah, do you want to talk a little bit just about the volunteer trail ambassadors program before we end?
Sure. Yeah, just to wrap up, I just want to really thank Corey and Sarah for joining us today. It's been really great to see you guys and chat with you, and it's definitely exciting to know that we'll have the 50K and that's going to happen, and we'll be able to do our cleanups and such, because that's always, it's the kickoff event of spring. So unfortunately we can't do it at the kickoff, but it'll be a nice wrap up at the end of the season. So like Mika said, feel free, check out our website. We have tons of volunteer opportunities. Trail ambassadors are still going strong during this pandemic. Though we don't have our events that you can volunteer at, you can become a trail ambassador. Visit our volunteer page on our website, schuylkillriver.org. And I would love to receive an email from you saying you want to be an ambassador. It's great for people who use the trail regularly. And it just creates a really nice connection between us and the trail user to hear feedback from you guys. And, you kind of become the eyes and ears of the trail. So if you see trash or you see people dumping, or if you see, trail erosion, it's our trail ambassadors that really let us know about that first. So check that out. Please check out Sly Fox's website, like them on Facebook, like them on Instagram. They always have great content, and go out and get yourself a growler full of beer or a nice case from your local distributor or grocery market. Now we're lucky enough to have it at Giant. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome.
Cheers.
I just want to add, I did see a comment on Facebook saying that they were interested in helping with our cleanups. And when we have those cleanups, we do post those as events on our website page. So for example, the SRT spree cleanups, we'll post that on our website. So just look out for it. We will have a cleanup associated with that, which is happening in Halloween, during Halloween. So be on the lookout for that. And then I also wanted to say, if you are interested in volunteering for Ride for the River, you can also do that through our volunteer page. So we have an actual application, and you can tell us what you're interested in. There's a section on there for special events. So like I said, we get about 70 people who help make that ride possible. So if you're interested in doing that, feel free to do that. Feel free to sign up on our volunteer page. And then for Corey and Sarah, I just wanted to let you know that we got this really cool comment. This is from Devin Hain, and she said, I love all that Sly Fox does for the trail so much that I included it as an example of public-private partnerships in the funding section of the Berks County Bicycle and Pedestrian Transportation Plan. So, wow.
Awesome.
Thank you,
A
Devin.
great job helping make those safer road and trail crossings.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I was so happy to learn more about the background of the SRTL and our partnership. I've been with the Greenways for 2 years, so it's really interesting to be able to hear the history of that.
Thanks so much, guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Yeah.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye.